Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day out there in the insurance industry. Today, I'm walking you through, first of all, how to build a GPT and ChatGPT, but I'm also walking through why you would want a GPT. In fact, why you may want thousands of GPTs, and really how you could use it. I want to give you an example real quick before I go in and build a GPT, and you can see all the different ones I have built on my left-hand side of my screen here. First of all, why would you want a GPT? Well, one reason is to save time. I want you to think about this. Do you have an insurance quote in your team? Does this quote go through and quote 40 different carriers? Maybe. Maybe they don't. But let's just say in our situation they do. What if a risk comes across the desk and there's really only two companies they need to go through? But instead, they go and quote these other 40. So instead of maybe taking 20 to 30 minutes to do a quote, it takes them 2.5, 3 hours. What if you could save that 2.5 to 3 hours? This is exactly how a GPT could cut down on time for you. Building something like an underwriting guideline. You could put, all of your carriers. In fact, we're doing that right now. We're building an underwriting guideline with a GPT where our team can go there and say, look, this is the risk I'm looking to insure. I want you to give me a list of companies that are going to be the best fit for it. So maybe now it gives them 3 to 5 companies to do that with there instead of the 40. So this is how you could build a GPT. You could build GPTs for things like sales scripts, email writing, copy, your website wireframe. I have them built for all kinds of things like that. Today, as I go in here, and you can see on my screen, how do you actually go in and build a GPT? Well, remember, you want the paid version here. You don't have to do that $200 version a month if you don't want to, but at least a $20. In fact, I actually recommend being on Teams version, which is about, I think, $30 a month per user for your entire team. It gives my entire team access to each one of my GPTs if I need to. But on the left-hand side, you go to Explore. On the right-hand side, you can go to My GPTs that you already have, or we'll go to Create. And here we would go into Create, and we would give this thing a name. We would give it a description, and we would give it the exact instructions we're wanting it to do. We could even have conversation starters. We could even have it where it searches the internet. It searches different canvas and add image generation. Now, it may be that, hey, I don't want you to search the internet. Instead, I only want you to search the database I give you, like on that carrier thing. Then here, you want to click unapply to web search. You may not want image generator. Unapply it. And here, you may not want any conversation starters at all, or you may want one like, I'm trying to insure a home over $750,000. Tell me what my best options should be for the state of Alabama, as you've got these different policy jackets and things maybe uploaded for a carrier into one of these GPTs. Remember, with the paid version, this one's going to be private. It's not going to be public. In fact, the only people that are going to have access to it are people on your team. And you want to make sure when setting it up, you set it up that way. You don't want everybody to have access. Maybe you do want everybody to have access if you're creating one for the public. But, we have different ones that are public facing. We have different ones that are private facing. So it really depends on what you're using it for here. But as you go through this, give it the instructions of exactly what you're trying to do. And be as detailed as possible. But remember, it does limit you on characters here. And also on the knowledge base, it does limit you to 20 uploads. That's why I have my team taking all the policy jackets. They're taking all this information. They're putting it into one Google Doc that then we can download as a PDF and put it right here. So you just want to think about that. It's going to limit you to 20. Then as you go to create, when you go in and it's going to ask you, what exactly you're trying to do here. So let's just do this. Let's see. What do we want to build this one? I've built a few today. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to build this one on. Let's call it HubSpot Admin. So I don't have my glasses on right now. So basically, I would actually put this in instructions. And for description, I'm just going to call this HubSpot Assistant. So I'm not putting conversation starters here. This is kind of for configuring what we're trying to do. Now let's go over here to create. Let's make sure all this stuff is still here. Yeah. We're going to search the web here, different canvas and all this. So then let's go ahead and hit, we're going to go to create. And this is what I'm talking to and getting more detailed with it. And you want to be specific here, because if you're building something for a target audience and you're telling it how you wanted to act and all these things, this is where you got to be real careful and really detailed. Now, I'm not doing it right now because my voice control goes crazy when I do these screen recordings like this. But typically what I would recommend you do, put it on voice control. Start speaking to it as you're doing this. And you see it's even giving me a name suggestion, which I've already kind of come up with that. Now let's see what else it can do to help me maximize HubSpot. It's even generating a profile picture. And let's see what it's going to come up with some pretty standard there. That part's not really that big of a deal. You can always go in here and change this. Now let's see what else it's doing also. All right, let's see what else it's coming back with here. As we go through this, and we're going to test it out in a second. And look, we can always go back in here and edit this and add more creation here, add more configure. Now let's go into see. Let's see. Would you? So now we're focused on new business. Trust and Grow framework is a framework that our marketing agency actually built. And so as it goes through and it follows all these different things, whether you're a story brand, they ask you answer and some other strategies as well. And as we go through this, now let's go to create. Let's go to the view GPT. And here's one thing I want to look at. All right, so it's going through these different things, telling us what the next step should be. I'm going to give it to our website, see what else it can do. It may tell me, hey, the way you've built it, you may not want it using the internet. I do want it using the internet. So it's pulling all these different things here from my website directly. It's going through website conversion, telling me how to enhance all these different things, how to implement, I've already got. So we've already got AI Charlie on there that helps with these different things. And look, you could really do this with anything. And it's just said, it's even going in here and looking at all these different things for us. Telling me where to find it in HubSpot, all these different things. And let's see what it does when I put the YouTube channel in there. So it pulls up the YouTube channel. And this is just one example. See, it's pulling all my photo and all these different things in here. And it's giving me all these different things. And it's even showing me that channel optimization. And this is how we're building. Look, as you see on the left-hand side, you can see how many of these we literally build out all the time. We're building out different ones. I attend the University of Wake Forest for my master's in digital marketing. I attend the University of Cincinnati with a master's in marketing and artificial intelligence. And I build a GPT dedicated to each class. It helps me go through check marks for what I've done right, X's for what I haven't followed on the syllabus. And I build one of these each time I take on a new class. I upload the syllabus, the modules, all that. And I always have that available to work as an assistant, a guide with me. And that's how we should be using this. This should be a guide. Not necessarily going and doing and copying and pasting all the word for us. It should serve as a guide as we go through this. So I just want you to think about different ways that you could use something like this in your organization to help speed up time, help speed up research, maybe a different approach to the way you're not thinking about things. Email writing. How can you improve a sales process, a claims process? What can you take out of your team's hands to speed up the process, and what could you have your team doing instead that they may be doing? For example, if they're spending all day doing mortgage clauses, why not build something like this just for mortgage clauses? Said, look, I'm trying to improve the process for when mortgage clauses come in. You help work with me to improve that process. As I said, it serves as an assistant here. And so you see how it tells me exactly how to set all this different stuff up? I can hand this all over to a VA. I can hand this potentially over to an AI agent to have it go in and do all this for me. And I just want to do this quick video and kind of show you a general example. And look, I can go further detail on something insurance-based, just like on projects over here on the left-hand side. The ones I've different ones I've done on renewal pipeline, new business pipeline, all these different things here. You can even see the final checklist and all that. So I hope that this video has helped you when it comes to figuring out how to build a chat GPT. If you need help building one, well, reach out to me. Let me know. I'd be glad to sit down with you and kind of work you through, where do I start on building these? How's my team going to implement them? How should they be using them every day? In fact, I'm even building a guide on not only how to build a GPT, but how to get your team to use them every day and what you should be using them for. So I hope everyone has a great day.